Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here for my channel Nintendo Collecting, bringing you my 5th update of everything that I've done in my Nintendo room recently. There are 5 things again I would like to talk about of updates that I've done recently over the past few days. The first and biggest one that's definitely very noticeable is that the Amiibo shelf is completely up and it's covered with Amiibo, looking really fantastic. I'm a big fan of how the shelves are clear so that they don't really look like they're taking up too much space, which is fantastic, and they actually really fit the Amiibo very, very well. So right now I have all the Amiibos out of box over there, and then I have all the boxed ones that I do have here as well, and I do have the newer line there on the end, for now anyways, but the idea is just to have the 50 Super Smash Bros. Amiibo, 50 or so I should say, along this beam. And then all of the ones that are actually out of the box that I do have over here are going to go elsewhere. Perhaps they will go in the display cabinets that I have right here. Which leads me into my second thing that I've done. I've reorganized the room just a little bit. I moved the 2 display cabinets over to this side of the room. I still need to put in the lights into them, but I think it's a lot better over here. They're more visible basically, and they're more noticeable, and I really like how they're kind of a contrast over here, especially when they're lit up, to the different display cabinet that's over there that's going to be lit up, and there's another one over there. So it's almost like a triangle of the display cases lighting up the room a little bit more. I've also noticed that I really wanted to make sure everything could fit in here really well, and I've never thought of this design scheme when I was planning this in Photoshop, but I have the 2 smaller display cases on either side of the display cabinets, which are absolutely cool. And these 2 shelves, I should say, are barely fitting in. I must show you how, when I actually open this door, how close this gets. So you can just see how that fits maybe by a millimeter or 2. So that's absolutely perfect. Sometimes things just work out, and I really do think it looks nice. It basically looks symmetrical on either side, so that's cool. The table is here, there it is. It's not painted yet, so I must warn you first and foremost, it's not painted. But the base, I'm all about this base. It's absolutely fantastic. Let me just show you really briefly. There's the base for this, and it's really hard to see, obviously, with this lighting. I should fix it a bit. However, these ottomans fit in so well, perfectly around it. It's really not taking up much room whatsoever, so it's just like there's the 4 ottomans as close together as possible, which is great. And then the table itself, I do need to paint, and I'm just going to keep that for another video as a surprise. Because I moved the display cabinets over here, you might be wondering what's on this side. Well, I put the 8th shelf back to being over there. I do think that's a great home for it. I do know it's covering up a little bit of that shelf over there in the corner as well, but that's alright. It's not that bad, and besides, the Wii's going to go over there, and there's not that many things for the Wii to actually have collection for. So that's the second thing. I rearranged the room. The number 1 thing was the Amiibo, new shelves. Number 3, you can see the signage now in this room. These are not the signs that I will be having up permanently, it's just to give you an idea. All of these signs I did get from Target, so I'm going to actually be modeling my own design ones for all of these, and I'll have them different and probably unique to each console above each one. And they look spectacular, they look really cool, however they are a little bit of a strange size. They're 36 inches each, the shelves are only 30 inches each, so that's something I have to deal with and figure out. I can't really cut the signs because it's really difficult to do so. There's several layers of the plexiglass. I don't think I can cut through it. Long story short, I'm going to be designing my own ones, but that was the whole idea, to go above those, and that way I can actually have storage behind those, which looks great. I do notice, and I am aware, that the lighting here is definitely an issue. It's pretty dark over here in the corner. However, one of the lights up here is out and I need to replace it. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. And I also am definitely going to install probably more pot lights in here at some point, but I might also install lighting along this shelf, because you can see there's some room actually behind the Amiibo. So I might put LED strip along there, and I might also install some pot lights, because I know lighting's a bit of an issue. I thought it wouldn't be, but I do think it is. I need to get better lighting. So the signs are number 3. They look pretty good though. Number 4, I did bring in some of the posters, as you can see right here. For now, they're there because they're covering up the couch, which actually doesn't look that bad. So I do think that's kind of cool. I don't mind having posters there against the couch. I think they could work, especially when I'm kind of low on wall space to hang up a lot of posters in this Nintendo room. So there's 2 Zelda ones that I just brought over. I'm not sure if those are the ones that are going to stay there. They're definitely probably not, but for now there's the ones over there. I also have another Zelda one and a Luigi one over here, and I moved the one magazine rack over here for now. It used to be on the 2 shelves that were closer to the door. That one might ultimately actually go on top of the Nintendo Power Stand, so that I have a lot of room for magazines and guides and walkthroughs and things like that. So the posters are here, that's number 4. And number 5 is just other little tidbits of things that I actually added into the room. I'm starting to move some things over, so I have some of my Pokemon items here. I have a few of the posters. I have my Pokemon collector's case of all of the original Generation 1 figures. I'm not sure where that's going to go exactly, but I'm thinking this is probably going to be a Pokemon hub. So over here is probably going to be where all the Pokemon stuff is, likely. Over there on this wall is likely going to be all the Mario stuff. And over there on that wall is likely going to be my Zelda wall. It's a little bit smaller, but I actually have more room to build up, so we'll see what I do about that. And of course, this will be Nintendo Power magazines. A few other little things that came over. I made a few of my things that allowed me to drink and things like that actually are here. There is a light that I'm going to try and install in here, but right now it's not really working out. I'm going to actually do a lot better with lighting in this room, eventually in the long run. So there's just 5 little quick updates of what I've done in the Nintendo room. It's coming together. The thing I'm most excited for is probably designing all of those signs I have to do and also finishing off this table. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.